Hello everyone, welcome to another podcast with Immigration Advisors New Zealand. So today we are going to cover up some question asked by our followers. This is going to be based on partnership visas. Okay, today we have one of our immigration advisors, Tanua Bos. So Tanua, welcome to our podcast. So would you like to say a few words about you?
Yeah, thanks Fayaz. I'm quite excited to do this podcast today. I'm currently a licensed immigration advisor, a fully licensed immigration advisor, and I've been a licensed immigration advisor now for more than about 4 years. But before that, I used to work with Immigration New Zealand. So the government of New Zealand that looks after the entire immigration part of things to New Zealand. And that experience spanned about 21 odd years. And of those 21 years, I was actually an immigration manager for 19 years. So I started my life with, stopping people from going to New Zealand. And now that I've moved on to the darker side, now I see how we can facilitate, the skilled people to come to New Zealand and how we can sort of improve, how I can help people with improving their sort of life, try to match up what they want to what New Zealand can offer. So I just think it's a very, very interesting role as a licensed advisor. And given my background as an immigration manager and an immigration officer, I think it's a fantastic sort of combination. I think I've finally become a whole with respect to my experience. So I'm quite excited, and I'm really excited about this podcast.
Let's move to the first question. So, what are considered as relationship proofs?
So essentially, when you're applying for a partnership-based visa, be it culturally arranged visa or a partnership-based visitor visa or a partnership-based work visa, partner of a worker, partner of a student, there are sort of three essential things that they need to cover. So A, that the relationship is genuine. B, that the relationship is stable, and finally that the couple is living together. And not just saying that we are stable and genuine doesn't really cut the mustard with Immigration New Zealand. You have to actually provide documentary proof of all of that. Documents like a marriage certificate. If the couple is married, they can provide marriage certificate, marriage photos, etc. Now, whilst those are good documents, but just that in itself will not be sufficient. You have to be able to prove with documents and verifiable documents to establish that you've actually been living under the same roof, that you've actually been together, that you've actually met each other, that what you say about your relationship is correct. The way that you've said your relationship was formed, you can prove by documentary evidence that, that's correct. So there is a whole raft of documents that can be provided. And I think, where people sort of they flounder is when they think, I've been married for 10 years, just providing the marriage certificate is going to be sufficient. No, it is not sufficient. You may be married for 10 years and just that marriage certificate proves just that. It just doesn't prove that it's still stable, it's still ongoing. It doesn't prove that you're living with your partner. So just that marriage certificate and photographs will not matter. You have to have a whole raft of sort of documents, and given the length of your relationship, it can go up or down. So the lesser the relationship period, the more documentary evidence needs to be provided. The longer you've been together, you've got children, a lot of things that sort of go on to demonstrate that the relationship is genuine, stable, ongoing, though the threshold of documentation would probably be a little less. But in a sense, you have to have documents for just about all.
A lot of documents.
I wouldn't necessarily say a lot of documents, but just the correct documents. It's what documents you provide to show, these three aspects rather than how much you provide. So the what is more important than the volume of it.
Okay, that's quite an informative, very much informative thing. So another person had asked, is it necessary to be legally married to get a partnership-based work visa? He's doing a master's apparently. He had told that he's doing a master's. Is it necessarily required to be married? He's a Filipino national.
The short answer to that is no. legal marriage is not a mandatory requirement because New Zealand accepts, a lot of relationships as meeting the partnership requirements. So one of them is legally married. You could be in a civil union. You can be de facto partners, which means that you're just living together, but not necessarily married. And New Zealand also recognizes same-sex relationships. So if you meet any of these three type of relationship / partnership, you are eligible to apply under the partnership category.
All right. Okay. So another question. This is the third question. A student who is doing a master's, can he have his partner having a work right? So his question is like he's doing 3 years bachelor's. He's asking whether is it possible for him to bring his partner with legal work rights.
Okay, so if you are pursuing a bachelor's degree, it will need to be it need to be a qualification that is required by a role on the green list. That's the only time that you can actually, that's the only time your partner will be eligible for work rights.
All right. So once he complete the bachelor's, when he's getting into the post-study work visa, will he be eligible to bring his partner?
Absolutely. Then no problem at all. If a student who's completed a bachelor's degree goes on to the post-study work visa, gets his post-study work visa, the partner is eligible for open unconditional work rights.
That's cool. So how about the workers? Can any type of a worker, let's say like a worker who is in ANSCO level 5, will he be able to bring his partner with the work visa, or is there any criteria wherein like it should be within the ANSCO 1, 2, 3?
It'll have to be within ANSCO 1, 2, 3. So it will need to be, if somebody is on an accredited employer work visa, they will, if they are in an occupation which is skill level 1, 2 or 3, and they're getting paid, which is at least 80% the median wage, then they're eligible, then their partners are eligible for open work visa, which is unconditional open work visas. If someone is on an accredited employer work visa to pursue or to do a level 4 or level 5 skill level role, then they're actually not eligible to support partner under any sort of visa if they are getting paid at median wage or less than the median wage. If they're getting paid at least 1.5 times the median wage, that's when they can support their partner. Or alternatively, if their occupation is on the green list, then they can support their partner. Or if their occupation falls under the care workforce sector or the transport sector and they meet the wage threshold for those sectors, then also they can support their partners for work visa.
All right. So you had been in immigration industry before you joined Immigration Advisors. You had been there for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So the last question will be, definitely you will be the right person to ask. So it will be like, what are the common mistakes when it comes to the partnership agreement? So generally, like almost everybody do, or kind of a thing, common mistake which should be avoided when they are applying for the partnership based.
I think the most common mistake that I have seen, as in when working with immigration, and also when I come across people who come to us after they've had their first sort of partnership visa declined, is what I was talking about earlier, is about what documents you provide. You can't just provide everything that you have, because that may not necessarily show your the strength of your relationship, or that you meet each aspect of the instructional requirements. So it's just about documentation. They're not able to provide the correct kind of documentation, and they're not able to explain what that document is, telling about their relationship. So if they provided a piece of document, why have they provided that? What does it show? Does it show that they've been genuinely married? Does it show that they are in a genuine relationship? What is the importance of that document? So the inability to explain that becomes, may sort of result in a negative-ish decision, essentially because the immigration officers don't know them personally, right? The decision is made entirely on the basis of the documents in front of an immigration officer. So the better you can explain what documents you've provided and why you believe that it meets immigration requirements, the better it is for an application.
All right, it's a very good, insightful discussion today. So definitely, this would have been helped many of our viewers. So thank you very much once again. So keep supporting us, and if you have any questions, please drop us in the comments, and yeah, share this to multiple people so that people will get benefit out of this video. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks, Fayaz. Thank you, guys.